He looked at my face as if searching for a mask I might be wearing. Chapter 6. Last Girl, Last Call. People wanted closure. They want it like sugar, like it can make coffee drinkable. Nell and Gab did not give them enough, so the town swallowed fabrications. Quinn wrote articles about youth and rot. She asked if I thought horror had taught them this. I told her horror had only given them a language for wanting. I moved back into my routine, a routine that now included checking the undersides of beds I did not own. I kept the broken porcelain triangle in a jar on my dresser. I told myself it was a trophy, but it was really a question. Weeks passed, filmed and uploaded and watched. My voice on the videos changed. It developed a rasp. My reflection learned to be brave. Some nights, I dreamed the pier stretched out forever, that I was always halfway down it, making the choice to chase. The last call came on a morning, so bright it made me squint. I was trimming sound from my latest story when the landline rattled again, that antique snake. I let it ring 3 times, and then lifted it like it might bite. "Hi," the voice said, friendly as a neighbor through a hedge. "Did you miss me? Which one are you?" I asked. "The curator?" The cadence. A soft chuckle. "I told you, I'm the one who edits. I don't need them anymore. I only need a lens and a subject with a good jawline. And guess what? You have such a nice one." I closed my eyes. The kettle on the stove began to sing, and for a second, my mother's house was back, the answering machine winking, the world smaller. "What do you want?" I asked. "New question," the voice said. "An honest one. What was the first story that made you tell the truth about yourself?" I didn't answer. I hung up. I picked up the porcelain shard and pressed its painted tear to mine until I felt the edge bite. Then I lit a match and held the mask triangle over its little flame until the paint blistered and smoke curled like a script unspooling. I wanted to believe that burning the face burned the person, but I knew better. You can destroy a costume. You can't destroy a role. My phone buzzed again, a text this time, a short video. A figure, shoulders familiar, moved through my kitchen on quiet feet. The camera slid past my dresser, lingering on the jar. A gloved hand reached into the glass and plucked the shard out like a prize. My voice came through the speaker, the voice I had used in my latest video, pitched just right to slide into people's ears. "You stayed until the end," it said. "That means you're like me." I watched the clip twice. I made tea. I sat at the table with the cup between my palms and the light slanting across the wood like bars. And I realized that I had always, since I was a little girl listening to the house breathe at night, known the rules. You learn them because the world is big enough to hurt you and small enough to remember your name. Before I went to the police, I opened my laptop and I turned on the camera, because survival is sometimes a show. I told the lens my story. I told it slowly, until my own breathing stopped sounding like a weapon. And at the end, before I pressed upload, I added a note for the editor who might be watching through the cracks of the screen. I said, "If you want an ending, meet me on the pier at noon. No masks, no phones, just your face." At noon, the pier was empty except for a gull that screamed at me until I screamed back and felt my lungs loosen. The water wore the sun like jewelry. I waited long enough to know the editor was smarter than me. Then I went home, locked the door, and put the landline in a drawer. That night, under the wind and the slow sea and the voices of the town telling themselves they were safer now, another sound returned, small and patient, like a ritual. The phone rattled the drawer. Once, twice, then again, at the edge of the hour, when everyone who watches unblinking is still awake. It rattled until it was a heartbeat, until it was a cliff, until it was only me and it in the room. And I realized that sometimes the only way to stop being a character is to let the story go unanswered. I didn't pick up, but I did press record.